Okay, guys, we are now officially in week 9 of the diet, and that blows my mind. We are over halfway in the diet. We are now closer to being in Greece and living it up in the sun, enjoying the food, enjoying the drink, than the time that we started off the diet. I might sound a bit mad, but stick with me here, right? But I think when you're dieting, it is largely a mental battle, and I think, see, once you get past that midway point, although you are then in the depths of the diet, things start becoming a bit more easy because obviously with each week that passes, you're a week closer to the end of the diet. So with each week that's passing right now, myself and Rachel, we know we are a week closer to being in Greece. But also, you're now in the point of a diet where you're seeing the changes more often. Every time you're stepping on the scales, it's a new low. Every time you look in the mirror, you're seeing new lines coming in, and it's just a very kind of rewarding phase of the diet. So I think, although myself and Rachel were both very much digging deep just now, we're both really actually quite happy with how we are progressing. What I wanted to kind of go on a bit more about in today's vlog is how to best elicit fat loss. If you follow myself or Rachel on Instagram, which by the way, down there if you don't, and you're missing out if you don't. But if you pay attention to our Instagrams, you know if you want to elicit fat loss, at surface level it's quite straightforward. Burn more calories than you consume on a daily basis. And I wanted to kind of go on a bit more about that and how to kind of find that balance for you, because I think myself and Rachel have both been on both sides of that. When trying to lose fat, we have either burnt a high amount of calories to get that fat loss, or we have ate less calories. And I think we've kind of found a sweet spot that works for us. Both of us opt for that other side of burning more calories. Few reasons for that, but once Rachel's here, we can go on a bit more about it. But I think just having food remain somewhat higher is more beneficial for us. So Rachel's really busy right now, and within the calorie burning, she's opting for a lot of that being from steps. So this week she's actually decided to get a lift into work, from work getting the train into town, going to the gym in town, and then walking there home, which is quite a substantial walk. So she's been doing that on the daily. I think she's doing like 22,000 steps a day. I've actually got a few wee bits and bobs to pick up in Glasgow, so I'm going to go in just now and meet her and join her for her walk back. And yeah, we'll have a wee chat about both sides of that kind of eliciting fat loss argument and what we think works best for us. So yes, come along, join us, and maybe learn a thing or two, and or at least open up your mind as to the different avenues that you can go down to elicit fat loss.
That's us just home. And
Big long walk.
Yeah, I was glad you joined me because I've done that myself and it's a long walk.
And your phone died 5 minutes into it, so.
I know. So I would have had to have done the whole walk with no phone.
Which should have been fun.
But wish my watch had died. I'd have been like, doesn't matter.
Doesn't count.
Yeah, so I've been getting a lift into work and then walking home pretty much from the city centre, which is about an hour.
Hour and
20 minutes,
yeah.
hour and a half.
Wasn't that bad actually with the sun and stuff.
Yeah, it's okay when it's dry, but that definitely helps me get like over half of my steps, because I've got 20,000 steps to do a day. So, which is my choice. I could also look to other levers of fat loss, but for me, I would rather my output was higher and I got to keep my calories in a decent spot. Now I say a decent spot, we're still dieting, so they are in a deficit, but not where they would have to be if...
If we weren't doing more steps, then they would need to be a lot lower.
Yeah.
But that's a choice. We've both done diets before where we haven't done huge amount of steps. You do steps. I do cardio mostly. If we weren't doing that, it would be a good like 200-300
Yeah.
less.
Because you've got to balance the equation. You've got to make sure, well, not balance it. You've got to imbalance the equation. So you've got to make sure that your output is higher than your input. So that's either done by eating less calories or doing more.
And
or a combination of both.
Combination of both, and it's just down to kind of where you're at in life as well. Like if you are super busy and maybe you couldn't afford an hour walk a day, you're going to need to take that hit with your calories.
And this is not, by the way, me saying that everybody has to do 20,000 steps, because it's totally, I recognise that's totally unrealistic. For me, it's for the next X weeks. Do you know what I mean? And also, I know that I don't have any commitments really outside of work, so I can do it, and that's just what works for me.
Yeah, it's like sacrifices as well. Like, would you rather sacrifice 200 calories or an hour of your time to get steps in?
Whereas I would rather the energy, because I find steps a really low energy way of getting in kind of burning calories.
Whereas for myself, doing cardio, obviously that is more kind of taxing on my body, but less time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another kind of consideration as to if you're choosing to output more energy, steps versus cardio.
Yeah.
Obviously, steps are a lot more accessible. They are
free.
Yeah, free. Just put on a pair of shoes and go a walk.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously cardio, it's.
Yeah, I do think walking is the most underutilised mode for fat loss. Like,
for sure.
I've spoken to people before, and really, I don't know why I can't lose weight. How many steps you're doing? 4,000, and it's like, well.
I think a lot of people don't appreciate it as well, like how little movement they actually get until they start tracking
it. Yeah. And even like before the days of smartwatches, there were pedometers. Literally, like, remember that? You used to get a wee thing, you used to clip onto your belt.
Did you ever get the game ones? Like the wee pocket?
I can remember getting one out at McDonald's.
Yeah, and like you would feed it by getting steps and that.
You saw by the time I got you?
Kind of like
but that's not, I was going to say, that's not a pedometer. So yeah, my preferred method is, I do cardio as well, but my preferred method is steps, to be honest. I would definitely choose to use them, but I'm in a routine where steps fall as part of my natural day.
Yeah.
I'm up early, like, I've got like wee hour breaks between coaching and stuff, where if I was doing cardio in those moments, no, but I would be really sweaty.
Yeah.
Whereas you go for a walk, like, it's not going to make you dead dishevelled or anything like that, unless you're going like mountain climbing or something, like hill climbing. But it just works for me in my day.
And I think bottom line, it also allows both of us to have our food a lot higher.
Yeah.
Like you said at the start, like, obviously we're still dieting, we are still eating less than normal, but it would be a lot less.
Yeah.
And I think, a lot of people don't appreciate that. Like, maybe if you find the food, the hard part of dieting, if you think, I can go with that low calories, maybe you don't need to. Maybe you just need to
and also
expend a bit more energy, whether that's cardio or steps.
Yeah. Each week when kind of check in with each other, we're like, right, what's working this week? What's the weight that, what's the visual look of how we're looking? What's the weight looking like? There is a choice where we go, right, what can we?
It's another
can we manipulate here?
I always say to my clients, it's another tool in our fat loss toolkit.
Yeah.
And the more.
So it won't always look like. So for me, it won't always look like steps going up.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't now put up my steps in about 3 weeks.
And because you've not changed it, like, that's how you've got that good routine and stuff.
So I've not changed it. I've not
also
deviated from it.
Because we're in summer now. Yeah. Like, it's a great
use it to get outside. Like, I would not be doing 20,000 steps in the winter. No way. I would be doing cardio.
Yeah, for sure.
But just to give you like a wee flavour into what sorts of things we think about when we've
both
in
done
a calorie deficit.
Both done diets.
Multiple diets.
Where we have had low calories and kind of normal expenditure, and I was miserable. I didn't like having low food, so it's now a conscious choice I make to keep food a bit higher and just burn more.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah.
But we've got different methods for doing that. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like just like we've got different methods of tracking our food, we've got different methods of expending energy as well. So,
but it all works. At the end of the day, it all comes down to, like I said, that calories in versus calories out. Bottom line, that's how you lose weight.
You've got to be in a calorie deficit.
However you manipulate that is dependent on your own life.
Yeah.
If you want more food, keep the food a bit higher. If you don't have the time, then drop the food. Find what works for you.
Yeah.
So I'm on site at Murrayfield again today. I'll take you through a wee day of working on site. I know last time I done it, I was actually also at Murrayfield, but I do work other places. It's currently 8 o'clock. I have been to gym, done my cardio, done my workout, drove through. I'm going to put off having my pre-workout meal, just similar to last time as well. I don't know when I would get the opportunity to eat my lunch, so it could end up being quite a long time between meals, and meal timing is key to managing hunger. Right now I don't feel too hungry, so I'll kind of be a bit strategic with that and eat when I can. But yes, rugby today, so join me for that. Do you know what I'm loving about being here today? The fact that I'm not absolutely freezing. If you remember last time I was working at Murrayfield, it was when my car was in the garage, so I had to use Rachel's. So it meant I had no jumpers, jackets or anything that I could just throw on, but although I don't actually particularly need them right now, I do have them, but the sun is out and it makes everything a little bit better. So it is just 12:30. I have just had my lunch. I've opted for my egg and bacon bagel just because it's probably easier to eat right now, and I've got my tub of cream of rice that I could take inside, and I figured eating out of a tub would be better than trying to put together a bagel while inside at work. So as the game is on, I'll have that cream of rice, and then that will be my final meal before de-rigging, heading straight home, and then having my dinner obviously. So so far so good. Like I said, 12:30 and I've done 10,000 steps. So in terms of expenditure, when it comes to being on site, it is high expenditure. So sometimes I do actually have a bit higher calories to kind of compensate for that. Just depending on how I'm kind of feeling. But yes, no lack of expenditure just now whatsoever being on site. So it has just went 8:15, and that's me just in from work. Last time I ate was about 4:30, just with the times I was trying to, like I said, obviously restricted first and foremost, but then also trying to kind of stagger things just because of hunger levels. It does mean that I am now quite hungry right enough coming back from work, but that's not the worst. In the end, 19,000 steps, which if Rachel heard me saying, "Oh, that's a lot of steps," she'd probably just laugh at me. But like I said the other day, like I only go for about 10,000, or I aim for 10,000, usually a little bit above that. So it's double the amount of steps I've been doing, with the same amount of food. So when you look at that calories in versus calories out, I have obviously burnt a lot more calories than usual today. So I'm anticipating a bit of a drop off tomorrow. Myself and Rachel are going to go to a gym and train together. We'll take you along with us. So come on for that, and I'll update you on the scale weight as well, see how it ended up looking tomorrow morning after a big day on site.
So we are just going to Limitless Gym in Stirling. This is one of mine and Callum's favourite things to do when we're on a diet, is go and have a wee day out to another gym. Wildlife that we live. So yeah, just driving there at the moment. It's about half an hour away from us, so it's not too far. And the equipment in the kit there is good. And then after that, we're going to go to pit stop. Ran out of pre-workout, haven't we? So just need to go and get that. And then Callum wants me back with the old firm. I'm going to yoga later. Yeah, so it's all happening. It's all happening. I have to do a glutes and shoulders session. Callum's doing push, pull. So we've got a couple of exercises in common, which would be cute. We can do them together. I'm really sore though. I'm currently doing like really high volume training. So it's like 15, 20, 30 reps. So I'm quite sore today. I'm quite sore, and I'm having to like carry one of my workouts forward because I've got such a busy week next week, just to make sure I can fit it all in. So it was glutes yesterday, it's glutes today, so glutes and arms yesterday and glutes and shoulders today. So I'm definitely feeling it. I think the yoga will be good for me later. Such a beautiful day, such a beautiful day. We'll need to go out and get some. I'll need to go out and get some steps. Got about 13 still to get. So yeah, it'll be a great day.
Yes, gym smashed up in Stirling today for the gym. Like Rachel said, we just like we change every now and then, and when you're dieting down, a kind of fun day out is going to a different gym, but we enjoy it, so it works for us. I said I'd keep you updated on the scale weight after myself personally expending a bit more calories in terms of extra steps yesterday with being on site, and right enough I did hit a new low this morning on the scales, 74.3. I did hit 74.1 2 weeks ago, but if you remember, that was when I was floored with the cold, so I don't quite count that because it did come like straight back up. So yes, new low on the last day of week 9. Myself and Rachel were both very, very chuffed with how the diets are going right now. It's just full steam ahead, if I'm being honest. Roll on week 10, so stay tuned. Join us for that. We're going to have a great week coming up ahead, and we'll take you along for all of it.